afternoon, you guys. My name is Kristani Shen, and in today's video I will be talking about how to achieve breakthrough through your dreams. So in this video I'm going to mention some dreams, what they represent, and how to achieve breakthrough by analyzing and going through your dreams. So the first thing I want to say is, when you're analyzing your dreams, it's important that you have that you are looking at the reoccurring themes that are going on in the dream. For instance, do you see yourself always in a former house, a former apartment, a former school? Do you see yourself driving in your dreams? What do these dream meanings, what do these dream moods mean? So the first one, let me give you some examples. So I remember one time I had a dream, and in this dream I was driving with someone that I knew. I was driving with someone that I knew, and all of a sudden I was in the seat with the wheels. I was in the position to drive the car, and they told me drive. Now I don't know how to drive, right? I was very astonished when they told me, very surprised when they told me to drive. So I began driving, and what I noticed that was very interesting about this dream is that I made some mistakes, but for the most part I did pretty well for someone who doesn't know how to drive. So this dream, usually when you see yourself driving, the car represents, when you're driving, it represents the direction of your life, where your life is going, how your life is progressing, right? It's like it represents your life. That's what a car usually represents. So another very popular dream mood is seeing yourself in a former house, a former apartment, your childhood home. You'll see yourself in a former school, your former college, your former high school, with former people that you knew. And what this represents is backwardness and delay. So what you need to know is that dreams are spiritual. They could come from demonic, or they could come from up above. So when you're thinking of a dream, or when you're thinking of a dream, what moods do you see keep reoccurring? Are you always in a house that you were in when you were a child? How did you feel? What was going on in real life? Do you have trauma in that house, or is it a good experience you had during your childhood? All these things matter when you're trying to achieve breakthrough through your dreams. So do you notice that in your waking life, every time you're about to break through, you'll have a dream where you're in your former house? That is not a coincidence. That is actually a spiritual aspect that means you're being delayed and set back. You want to come against that. You want to pray against that. You want to use scripture. You want to rebuke it. You want to reject it. And you also want to seek deliverance in certain cases. So when you see yourself in like a establishment that you no longer go through, that phase in your life passed already. So if it passed already, it means you're being held back. So sometimes people will see they're trying to graduate, they can never graduate. Sometimes people will see they're trying to get married, they can never get married, or they could never have children, or they're trying to get a promotion at work and things are just not panning out. It could very much be a spirit of delay from the demonic realm, or it could be something your subconscious is trying to tell you to work through. So when you're having a dream and it's always the old home or old acquaintances, it's not a good thing, and you need to come up against and take it very seriously. So then one thing you need to work on is, if the old house had trauma, if it had trauma in it, you definitely want to see not only therapy, if you want to work on forgiveness, you want to work on letting go of the past, you want to let go of what happened in that former establishment, especially if it was a really bad experience. So your waking life and your dreams, they're connected. So your working life will be what your dreams are telling you, but figuratively. Your dreams are literally a representation of what's going on in your waking life. So if you keep seeing some things like you're driving in a car, that means pay attention to what's happening when you're in the car. If you get into an accident, what does that mean? Look through deeper than just the surface. So one thing you want to adapt is you want to adapt the habit of remembering your dreams. And remember, when you wake up and you just automatically forget your dreams, that's an attack. You definitely want to understand why you can't remember your dreams, because dreams are warnings. They tell you what's to come. They tell you how things are going on with your life. It's very important that you remember your dreams. So one thing is, when you're sleeping, have a notepad or your phone next to your bed so that you could type down what happened in the dream, or as much of it as you can remember. Next, do you notice there's anything that's keep repeating in the dream? So if you keep getting a dream and it keeps repeating, or it's different scenarios, but you see certain things that are repeating in the dream, pay attention to that. For instance, if you keep seeing a certain person in the dream, if you keep seeing a certain place in the dream, if you keep seeing a certain word or scripture being called out in the dream, pay attention to that. Because once you can pay attention to it, you'll begin to analyze, what does this mean to me? So sometimes people will see they're having a test in their dream. So a test usually means there's something you're trying to work through in real life. You need to pass it in order to get into the next stage of life, whatever it could be. And until you pass and learn that lesson, you won't progress in real life. So it could be that you're a serial procrastinator. It could be that you're bound or you're being attacked by witchcraft. It could be that you need to pray, read more. You need to take your life more seriously. You need to work more. It could mean any of these things, but you need to look in the dream for context clues. So when you're dreaming, pay attention to what you're dreaming about, right? Because it's very important, and it's telling you what your waking life, the battles that you're facing in waking life, and it's giving you instructions on how to overcome them. Okay. So finally, I'm gonna go into a dream that I had. This is unrelated to anything. It's just a normal dream. I'm only telling you to this because it's not personal, and I feel like it doesn't impinge on my privacy, so I'm gonna tell you this dream. And then that'll be it for this video for today. Okay, so I call this dream the bear cub dream, and it's a very peculiar dream, so bear with me. I'm only telling you this just to tell you about a dream that I had. It's not too personal, and I feel maybe I could go into a little bit of themes and that'll be it. So I had a dream in August, right? And this was a strange, cute dream, nothing too serious. So I dreamed there were 3 cute baby cubs, right? Black bear cubs that I was taken care of as pets. They were hiding under my bed in my old apartment, right? Anyway, my mom was in the dream, and I kept looking at the new pictures of certain celebrities on Instagram during while in the dream. The whole time I was speaking to my mom in Creole, there was a Spanish young man and a woman to be about 30 or 40 years old. I think mom worked with them or their child anyway in our apartment. Anyway, Child Protective Services or some form of authority wanted to inspect our home for any danger, because I guess my mom was working with their child. In real life, my mom never worked with children. She actually worked with the elderly, right? So this is just a dream. These are just figurative, right? So there is an instance where they are speaking Spanish and we are speaking Creole, and the young man says, they keep speaking Creole. How are we supposed to understand what they're saying? Not sure exactly why he said that, right? So anyway, the authorities are inspecting, and one of the cubs come up to hug me. I did not feel afraid, right? I just thought it was odd, like, who has black bear cubs as pets anyway, right? So it came and really hugged me and said, I love you. I really love you. Why have you been hiding or not petting me? Something to that effect, right? The dream ends. I wanted to go back under the bed. I wanted the bear to go under the bed where the others were hiding. The other 2 bear cubs were hiding. I did not want it to get caught, right? So this was just a very peculiar dream, right? It likely doesn't have that much meaning to it. Just to give you an example of a dream that I had, right? So in this dream, it has many moods in it that could mean several different motifs, right? So it could also, for one of the moods could be that I'm remembering my mom because she was in the dream. Another thing could be that I'm remembering my mom. That's one thing. I'm dealing with grief. It could also be something about maybe something more peculiar. To be honest, I don't have any idea what this dream means, but certain dreams that I have, they usually, it could take me sometimes years or even months to be able to break down and decipher their meaning. I think this one was just a random dream, right? I think that's safe to say. So then that's my video for today. My name is Christani Jen. Have a lovely day, you guys. Thanks. See ya. Bye.